r/LifeProTips, LPT. You don't realize it until you're on your own, but for many people, your parents are basically your personal assistants. Learn to get better at these tasks before you're completely out on your own and adulting won't be so hard or such a shock. You don't realize it until you're on your own, but for a lot of people, your parents are basically your personal assistants. Your parents may do any or all of the following. They keep your schedule, they tell you where you need to be and when. They often tell you when you need to go to sleep and when to wake up to make it to things and be sufficiently rested. They make your appointments for you, doctors, dentists, etc., ensure you have transportation and that you get there on time. If something goes wrong, they get the call and then tell you about it, usually with a list of options for taking care of it. They keep track of the things you need to do and remind you about getting them done. They fill your house with food and often prepare it for you as well while reminding you not to eat too much junk. Many even do a lot of networking for you, telling you which friends of theirs or relatives might be looking for someone to work for them or have available children for you to date. When you're a kid or teenager, this all feels like living in prison. But when you get to be an adult, you realize how hard life is when you need to take care of all that crap on your own, all while trying to support yourself. If you take different medications at different times of the day, write when you take them on the bottle caps. I always forget to put my medication in a pill organizer and this has worked much better for me. I use different colored Sharpies to make it even easier to find. It lets you use the original bottles while saving time finding each medication since you only need to look at the caps quickly compared to reading the sides. Shut off house water before going out of town. Hundreds of cheap, old, brittle pieces of plastic are the only thing standing between millions of gallons of water and your belongings. There are so many ways for your home to be flooded while you're away and many of them rely on very cheap, very old plastic parts not breaking while you're away. Refrigerator water supply lines, toilet fittings, washer hoses are just a few examples. When one of those breaks, and they will eventually break, water will flow until the dam runs dry, or until you come home. Keep your mouth shut, and don't volunteer information. I had a phone interview scheduled this morning, but accidentally slept through it. When I got up and saw that I missed it, I had the desperate urge to call and offer up excuses, in the hope that maybe, just maybe, they'd be understanding and give me another chance. Instead, all I did was apologize and ask if we could reschedule. That's it, one sentence, no additional information, no explanation or excuse as to why I missed the first interview. They replied within 20 minutes, apologizing to me, saying it was probably their fault, that they'd been having trouble with their computer system for days, and of course I could reschedule. Was I available that afternoon? Don't ever volunteer information, kids. You never know what information the other party has, and you can always give information if asked for it later.
LPT hotel pillow trick. I travel a bit for work, and when I'm home I sleep best with a somewhat firm pillow that supports my head. At most hotels the pillows are to be incredibly soft, and I feel like my head sinks almost all the way down. For me at least, it's hard to sleep like this. I'd bring my own pillow, but they are usually too bulky for air travel. So here's my trick. I take one of the large bath towels, fold it to be about the same rectangular size as the pillow, and carefully tuck inside the pillowcase with the pillow itself. If I do it right, it's not lumpy at all but is completely flat inside. This adds a bit of firmness and prevents my head from sinking like a stone. Anyway, it helps me, hopefully it's useful for someone else. If your dog gets out, or you see a dog who is running from its owner, instead of chasing it, crouch down with open arms and call to the dog. If you are chasing it, the dog will think you are playing a game. I've used this on my own dogs, and helped strangers who have been chasing their own dog. Use this tip and you'll, hopefully, never have to deal with the agony of running after your dog in panic. If you're chasing a dog, it definitely thinks you are playing a game. Honestly, I don't know the psychology of it, but crouching down like you want to greet them will make them come to you. Edit. Lots of great advice in the comments. Alternatives to crouching down: opening car door, laying/falling down, and running the other way so they chase you. And sure, this might not work for every single dog, but I think it definitely works for the majority. Might as well try it before commencing the panic chase. Just because you did something wrong in the past, doesn't mean you can't advocate against it now. It doesn't make you a hypocrite. You grew. Don't let people use your past to invalidate your current mindset. Growth is a concept. Embrace it. When I read this, it really spoke to me. I've made mistakes in the past, but I've also learned from them and I'm a better person because of it. Everyone makes mistakes and the only thing to do is deal with them and learn from it. Don't let anyone hold your past wrongdoings against you in order to belittle or invalidate the person you are now. Don't use your child's embarrassing stories as dinner party talk. They are your child's personal memories and humiliating them for a laugh isn't cool. I've probably listened to my mom tell one particularly cringe-worthy story dozens of times and I think everyone she knows has been told it. Every time she tells it, most of the time in front of me, I just want to crawl under the table and hide. However, that would give her another humiliating story to tell. Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you have a right to humiliate them for a laugh. I do think that telling about something cute they once did, pronouncing something wrong, for example, is different to an embarrassing story. But if your child doesn't like you telling about it, then you should still find something else to talk about. When a friend is upset, ask them one simple question before saying anything else. Do you want to talk about it or do you want to be distracted from it? This is honestly one of the best things you can do for an upset friend. I use it all the time and people respond very well to it. Sometimes people come to you because they need to vent. Comfort them first, then follow up with, do you want advice or do you want me to just listen? But other times, they just need to let someone outside of the conflict know what happened, and then they want to talk about something else. Talk about your own day, show them the latest funny thing you saw, go do something fun together. This question sets boundaries and builds trust. It shows you can be there in any way they need. A marriage proposal should not come as a big surprise, despite what you may have seen in the movies. The topic of marriage should be thoroughly discussed well before you propose. Lots of TV and films depict a proposal as this dramatic, surprising moment where someone finally realizes their true feelings. While it may make for good entertainment, in real life your significant other should be well aware of where the relationship is heading. No matter how much your workplace pushes team building and family culture, remember, they're not your friends and it's still a workplace. Unfortunately, I learned this the hard way. I work for a small business who put huge emphasis on everyone being friends and building a strong team. But it just means it hurts more when someone inevitably stabs you in the back. I'm not saying go around and be a dick to people for no reason, but it's better to build relationships outside of work or in places where there aren't any politics or power imbalances. Yellow tinted glasses makes blinding LED headlights yellow and much dimmer. Added bonus of the tip hits blizzard conditions in Maine and the yellow lenses makes it seem like I have a ton more visibility like it's sunny out. I'm usually nervous driving in the snow but it seems much safer with yellow tinted sunglasses. The coolest part is my eyes are bad and it's like I can see much better. If I had to say I think seeing yellow relaxes my brain lol. Give it a try, it may help you out a lot. Here's something about it on Google. Yellow glasses are a good way to trick the eyes into believing they are getting more natural light and can be of huge benefit for those with seasonal affective disorder. These blue blocking glasses help to alter the circadian rhythm, the human body clock that tells us when to sleep and eat. Last thing I'll mention, sort of nice not having my eyes seen in today's society because people are so reactionary and looking for eye contact beefs lol. If you're ever bench pressing without a spotter, do not put clamps/clips on the bar. If you're bench pressing on your own, and the weight of the bar ends up beating you, without any clamps/clips on the bar you have the option to lean the bar to one side and having the plates slide off. Please be careful though and do your research on how to properly do this. There are tons of resources on YouTube on how to properly train by yourself safely and efficiently. Stay safe and keep grinding. Think out the intended effect before you say anything to work colleagues. This LPT can be summed up basically as talk less at work. Before you say anything at work, think about the intended effect. What are you trying to do by saying it? If the intended effect when you really think about it is make myself look better, brag, complain about something, just don't say it. I'll give you an example. I work in a multilingual environment where I speak both languages. One time a meaningless piece of information that was not important was incorrectly translated in front of me between two colleagues. I considered pulling one colleague to the side and giving him the correct translation. I thought about my intent. To make sure the correct information is transmitted? No, the real reason is I wanted to brag about my language ability. So I shut my mouth. This information will get broadcast around the office as so-and-so thinks your language ability is bad. Also, whenever you speak to colleagues, imagine you have a microphone that's broadcasting everything you say to everyone at work. Because that's what's going to happen anyway. Don't bother giving more than a 2-week notice. Had a coworker put in his notice until the end of the year. Told him he's going back to school starting the 1st, but wanted to give enough notice to hire and help train someone to take over for him so we wouldn't be down a person. They decided that 2 weeks is enough, so now he won't be getting paid, except for potential unemployment, which is significantly less than what he makes now, for the next 2 months. If he would have just kept his mouth shut and not tried to help them, he would have continued to get paid and then could have given a 2-week notice. Don't try to help the company. They have no interest in helping you, just helping themselves. Stop engaging with online content that makes you angry. The algorithms are keeping you angry, turning you into a zealot, and you aren't actually informed. We all get baited into clicking on content that makes us angry, or fuels our side of a contentious topic. The problem is that once you start engaging with rage-bait content, politics, culture war, news, etc., the social media algorithms, which aren't that bright yet, assume this is all you want to see. Your feeds begin filling up with content that contributes to a few things. First, your anger, obviously. But secondly, you begin to get a sense that the issues/viewpoints you are seeing are much more prevalent and you are more correct than they/you actually are. You start to fall into the trap of echo chambers, where you become insulated from opposing views, which makes you less informed and less able to intelligently develop your opinions. For example, if you engage with content showing that your political side is correct to the point of all other points being wrong, or worse, evil, that is what the algorithms will drop into your home screens and suggestions. This causes the following. You begin to believe your opinions represent the majority. You begin to see those who disagree with you as, at best stupid and uniformed, at worst inhuman monsters. You begin to lose empathy for anyone who holds an opposing view. You miss out on the opposing side, which may provide valuable context and information to truly understanding the issue. You get dumber. Make a conscious decision to engage with the internet positively. Your feeds will begin believing this is what you want. You will be happier, your feeds will be uplifting instead of angering, and you will incentivize the algorithms to make you happy instead of rage farming you. The people fighting back and forth online over the issues of the day are a small minority of people that represent nobody, nor are they representative of even their side. Oh, and no, I'm not on your political side attacking the uninformed stance and tactics of the other. I am talking to you. If you liked the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. Make sure to have a good day, Story Squad.